Hello again, this is update 3 on the B17 titanium that I de-stretched. I put it in water, it shrunk about 2 centimeters, it was extremely stretched. One of the rivets was loose, the leather was torn there, and I wanted to put the nose piece 2 centimeters back, but since the leather was shrinking so much, I could only put it back about 1 centimeter. And I use these stainless steel inner hex bolts with ball head. I used washers, but you should just remove the washers, they're not really needed. Then it'll be slightly lower, but they don't annoy. As I mentioned, a friend of mine did this with a B17. He replaced all the rivets with these hex bolts, and I've ridden with it and it works fine. Just one thing you need to do is use very thin nuts here, or just grind down a few nuts to make them thin enough so that the nose piece here can slide across them. The problem that remains is that the leather is really soft. I think the original owner used something like an oil to soften the leather, and you should not use any oils unless it's for example proofite. It's really benign to leather, it does not really affect it strength wise. It just keeps the leather supple enough. Really softening the leather is not needed. If you want to break in the saddle sooner, just make these two places wet. Put a small piece of cloth, something like this, make it wet, put it here, sit bone area, and here on this side as well, then go ride with it. And making the entire saddle wet and putting oil all over it, as I saw in a video, is really a bad idea. It'll make the leather weaker everywhere. You only want it soft where the sit bones are, to deform it such that they give you a little dimple, and which gives support for the sit bones. It's the only thing you need. So this saddle has probably been treated with some oil. It's really soft. This side is a bit harder. What I'm going to do to try to work with it anyway, as I mentioned, I will use the frame for my standard B17 if nothing works, but I'm just going to experiment a bit and use lacing here, but a bit higher, not at the bottom, to make sure the saddle keeps its shape. As it is, when I sit on it, I just go in way too much. I need to increase the tension also and use lacing, and then it may work. Otherwise I may let someone else try it who's a bit lighter than I, and see if it works then. So this is a template for normal lacing, but I'm not going to use it because this leather has been stretched, so it doesn't really fit in shape. And anyway, I want the lacing to be a bit higher on this one. Then update 2 on the Gilles Berthoud saddle. The Gilles Berthoud saddle has been completely restored in shape. So what I did is put it in water for 2 days. Then this plastic bag, put it here on the bottom. Then these paper, I made these paper balls from just advertising stuff. Push them under the rails to give the exact shape that I wanted, which is the original shape that I think the saddle was in. And the saddle's pretty stiff, looks good. It's not completely dried out, I think, so I'm going to let it dry out a few more days, and then we're going to try to ride it. As you can see here, the holes are a little bit to the front. It means that this leather also shrunk a little bit, so I'll just push in the nose piece a bit and then put back the bolts and the screws here and then see how it will ride. Maybe I will use some some imperial modification as well, and see how that goes. Okay, that's it for now.